shield, because the Leopards can deny the Warriors that honour. And Terry, that is some incentive.
Bill, that is a huge honour. Let me tell you, they've played in this fixture, and it's ruthless. It's aggression from all players that's involved. And do you know, the lads talking about wouldn't they want to spoil the party? Well, let me tell you, Leigh Leopards are absolutely going after the Warriors. 100% they're chasing them down. They've probably got the Leopards, the most aggressive pack in the competition in my eyes.
Minus John Asiata, which is a big blow for them.
It's a huge blow. You put Joe Wadden, who plays differently, but he's big, he's aggressive, he's goal forward. On the back of carries like this from Tom Amon, who's been one of the standout prop forwards in the competition.
The smoke still hanging in the air at the Leigh Sports Village. Never mind Eddie at Headingley, Brian. That took me back to a night at Barrow Raiders in the Championship when Barry McDermott hit the ground when the fireworks went off about a yard behind us. But there will be fireworks here, there will be fireworks across the competition tonight. We've conscripted a crack team of correspondents, as you've seen, who'll be keeping us up to date. John Wells alongside us will have all the latest news. And here is the man who Leigh Leopards have got to keep under control, Abbas Miski.
Yeah, well, they've got some firepower, haven't they, the Warriors? The weather, is it a bit of a game change? It's been pouring down all day. He's probably stopped 20 minutes ago. Will that affect the speed of likes of French and Field? Miski and Marshall on the edges.
Well, local weather forecaster studied the seaweed this afternoon and told us it would stop raining at 8 o'clock this evening. He said categorically.
Well, they were bang on. Look at that, this is a good set, isn't it, in defence?
Yeah, Leigh doing plenty of work early on. Let's go down to the sidelines where I'm sure it's loud, Jenna.
It is exceptionally loud evening, Bill. You've touched on it already tonight, but there is no John Asiata, who's been arguably their best player this year. I spoke to Adrian Lamb, the Leigh Leopards head coach, about his absence. He said that it is a hamstring injury. They will know the severity. There he is there sitting next to his head coach. They'll know the severity of it early next week, but it doesn't look good. And in fact, he could be out for the rest of the season with the playoffs coming up. That is a huge, huge blow for the Leigh Leopards.
It certainly is. And first mistake of the game. It's a knock-on by Josh Charnley, furious with himself. No Asiata, no Zach Hardacre as well for Leigh.
Yeah, two big losses, and Josh Charnley up against his former club makes the error. You know, he's so important, isn't he? Not just scoring tries. We say it all the time, like carrying the ball, coming out of yardage. Very rarely does he make mistakes like that. The fourth in the Super League chart for making meters. Like, so important for Leigh and their pack of forwards.
So a mistake by Charnley gives Wigan this position well inside Leigh territory. And here is Jake Wardle, brother Joe, lining up on the other side for the Leopards.
Got to be quick, boys.
And here is Liam Farrell now. And Leigh, not surprisingly, as it's only a few miles up the road, have brought a big support. Wigan have brought a big support with them here to Leigh. Good work from Tyler Dupree, who is starting this evening. Of course, Wigan missing some key personnel as well, as Morgan Smithies drives it in. Brad O'Neill, Harry Smith, back it comes to Dupree again, but Dupree cut down.
Well, Edwin Apapi, I think that's the second occasion that set of six. He's hit Tyler Dupree, he's tried to launch into him on his previous carry, hitting under the ball in these slippy conditions. You can see that he loses the ball, it lands on the back of Edwin Apapi, and then he regathers it, so the knock-on's given by Liam Moore, the referee. Look, in these conditions, let me tell you, you want to make sure that you know what's coming from the defence. You want to make sure you have a tight grip on that ball. Your skill and your execution will be tested.
Hands over tight, boys, please. Don't go early, Wigan.
Leigh get head and feet.
Shot clock off.
Let's go back downstairs to Jenna.
Yeah, Bill, I brought you that news about John Asiata that he could be out for the rest of the season. It's more bad news for the Leopards. Just speaking to the club, Dr. Zach Hardacre, he's also missing tonight, which you've touched on, with that thumb injury. He had scans this week. He needs to have further scans. There he is there. But it's looking unlike he will be back in time for the playoffs either. In fact, he might be out for the rest of the year if they were to progress to the semi-finals and then, of course, on to Old Trafford.
Two big blows, but all sides are nursing injuries or carrying injuries at the moment. Wigan, as I said, without some formidable front rowers. Liam Byrne could be gone for this season. Ethan Havard, of course, is out. Mike Cooper went a long time ago, but they've managed to keep the pack motoring in their absence. That's the fifth tackle. 5 minutes of this game gone.
Good, Morgan.
And Lamb hoists the kick. First test of the night for Jay Field, and Field, eyes focused on the ball.
Look, and what Leigh have got is a really intelligent half-back who's played all 30 games this year for the Leopard. You throw the Challenge Cup games into the... They get on the back of a decent kick. They like to get emptied up this end of the field again. Look, second tackle, struggling to get meters. They really do like to get off the line. Surge in defence from them.
Leigh looking for some improvement. They've only won 2 of the last 5 since their success at Wembley, and they only narrowly managed to beat Wakefield, relegated Wakefield in Golden Point extra time last week. Adrian Lamb are not acknowledging before the game that they need to get back to where they were pre-Wembley. The kick is hoisted high. And Gareth O'Brien, the man who put the boot into Wakefield last week, he fields the ball and then gives it to Tom Briscoe.
He's another one of those players, isn't he? Tom Briscoe's had a really good year for them on the edge. Last year when he was at Leeds, just scored 2 tries. You look at him this year, is it 17 that he scored? The turnaround in form.
3. Move back.
Oliver Gildart tackled. Gildart, former Wigan player, left for the NRL, back in the British game. In Leigh colours this evening, he'll be in Hull KR colours next season. Here's a man who has really taken Leigh by storm this season, Robbie Mulhern. Meanwhile, O'Brien with the break. O'Brien has carved his way through. He's looking for some support. Nobody can get to him in time. The Wigan defenders too. Smith managed to close him down, but Leigh rolling forward. Wigan still regrouping. Here is Ipape. Ipape, the ball to Amon. Amon, short ball, and just brought down short of the line. Ben Reynolds denied.
Well, what great play from the Leopards. Gareth O'Brien, when he goes through the little show and go, confidence with the speed, and again just trying to do a number on him here. That's the Leopards for you. The attacking eyes that they've got at the back through that man. An underrated player in Super League for me.
And the Leigh supporters finding their voices. It's the Wigan fans have been making the noise so far this evening. As Miskey plays the ball, and Harry Smith kicking early and kicking deep, but Briscoe had tracked back to claim that ball. The chase is good from the Warriors.
It's been really difficult for them early on. The physicality stakes so far defensively are in Leigh's favour. For me, they're really taking the game here to the Warriors. Like you said, like the lad said in the studio, no better prize for them would be to deny Wigan from lifting the league leaders' shield.
There is Tom Briscoe, over 400 career appearances now, and he has been ever present this season, but he's made a mistake there. He's just lost the ball. Gildart getting up in the tackle, it was.
Well, be clinical again. You can see the ball just spill out from Oliver Gildart, another player who's wore the cherry and white shirt, and one of those senior players that you just look at, you think, right, okay, you look at the back line, you've got him, Briscoe, Josh Charnley. They're the sort of players that are getting out of trouble. We've already seen the break from Gareth O'Brien as well. Just need to make sure they keep out all of that ball coming away from the line.
So that's 2 errors from Leigh, isn't it?
Yeah.
Early on in the opening 8-9 minutes. Wigan looking for their 3rd win of the season over the Leopards, and a 3rd win would earn them the league leaders trophy. The only thing that could stop that if they were to win would be a fantastic point swing in Catalan's favour, but that's
Back now, hold.
not likely to happen, and an even bigger one from St Helens. Here is Tyler Dupree.
Move and win.
Starting again tonight, the former Salford man. Harry Smith now. Smith, here is Field. Field, little burst of pace, but Reynolds covering, makes the tackle on him, assisted by Ed Chamberlain. Smith then kicks cross-field on the last. Kai Pearce-Paul bats the ball down, but it's in the hands of the Leopards after that.
And it's Kai O'Donnell who gets the ball. He's a big player to go to, isn't he? And those cross-field kicks, Kai Pearce-Paul, one of the biggest plays wearing a Warriors shirt tonight. You know, it's the Leopards here now who are under a bit of pressure, trying to get the ball away from their line.
6'5", I think he is the biggest.
Yeah.
Warrior.
And he's a big athlete over on the right-hand side for them, isn't he?
So Leigh, here is Jack Hughes. Another former Wigan man, made 75 appearances in cherry and white. Ipape. Good tackle, stops the progress of Tom Amon. Clap of the hands from Ipape, and then Reynolds on the last with a kick down deep. Field gathers just about on his own try line. And then looks upfield.
That's the game in these games. Oh, Edwin Ipape.
Oh, Ipape.
Wow.
Come to Pape.
Oh, he's coming out of the line. Everybody, Edwin Ipape, he's loving this challenge, isn't he? Knows that they've been beaten by it twice this year already. Doesn't want to make it third time. Unlucky for them. Look at that. Just sets his target. Next time he gets the ball, Jay Field, surely there's some footwork in there.
They're not going to allow Field room to roam. That is obvious, and that is a very wise tactic. Brad O'Neill with the run. Leigh Bourne, the Wigan hooker. Smith. Whoa, he's given that plenty of height. O'Brien lets it bounce back towards his own try line.
Well, he gets a high shot here.
It's high from Bevan French.
Yeah, Bevan French just goes over the shoulder, doesn't he? I think the initial contact was over the shoulder, then it rides up. Not really a dangerous tackle. Look, you can see, just accelerates. Bit of a grab more than anything. I know we've been seeing them all year, any contact around the area. For me, I don't think it's a penalty, but we've seen it this year where they're given.
O'Brien pushes the penalty upfield almost towards the halfway line.
Ball now. Go.
Here is Lachlan Lamb, the Lance Todd winner, the Wembley hero. Jack Hughes just up to the halfway line.
All is 10. All Tyler. All.
Still waiting for the first points in this game.
2. Move now. Back here, Kai. Hold. Goal 2.
Now they're just inside Wigan territory. Amon goes on the run.
3. Move, Liam.
Edging towards that Wigan 30. Here is Reynolds now. Lamb shapes to pass, then does give it to Gareth O'Brien up from full-back. Gildart, then Lamb across the field. Reynolds and Ipape, and it goes to Chamberlain, and Chamberlain heading for the sideline, and Briscoe trying to keep him infield, and cannot do that. Good defence from Wigan.
Yeah, well, nice defence from them. You know, Leigh, even in these conditions, looking to shift the ball, but you just look at the urgency that they've got. There's no way in the world that they want the Leopards player to get down on the ground. Ed Chamberlain tries everything. He knows what's coming here. Tom Briscoe lends some weight, but they can't prevent him from getting dragged over the sideline.
Let's go to John Wells for an update.
Yeah, a really quick start over at Wakefield. Hull KR needed to chip away at that points difference. It has a direct bearing on the positions for the playoff games between Leigh and Hull KR. That's the first, that's from Jack Walker on the second minute. They've added another through Mikey Lewis, currently 10-0. The points difference now just 24.
Jack Walker just signing a new deal to stay with the Robins.
Hold. Release him. 2. Hold.
For Hull FC, I should say.
All the way, Tom.
A lot going on tonight.
Move.
And there's more to come from John.
Hold. Ball free.
Here, we still wait for the first try of the game, coming up to 15 minutes.
4. Move. Up at square boys.
And
Hold, mate, hold. Goal 4.
neither side have come up with an opportunity yet. And the French stopped in his tracks.
Hold.
Well, we've dealt with French and Field so far in this game. Another towering kick here from Harry Smith.
And Briscoe underneath this one. And then runs into the Wigan reception committee.
Move
And the Warriors now will just try and slow it down and get bodies tight into the man who's carrying it. I've already seen a couple of fumbles from Briscoe. And this man in Josh Charnley, sorry, Gildart, and this man, that's a good carry though, isn't it? That's where he's really good.
Here's Mulhern.
You look at the props as well, the starting props for the Leopards. In Amon and in Mulhern, they can go big minutes in this game. Doesn't really bother them, doesn't really affect them.
Lamb weaving his way over Wigan's 40-metre line. Here's Reynolds, and Reynolds on the fourth tackle puts the kick into the corner. Field is there to gather it, and he's hemmed in by the Leopards' chasers.
And again, don't get bored from what you initially set out to do. In Adrian Lamb and Lachlan Lamb, they've come through the NRL system. And it's all about getting through your sets, kicking to the corners, make sure you defend really strong, and you'll see that right the way through this game from the Leopards. That'll be the game plan, especially in these conditions.
First penalty of the night, and goes in favour of the Wigan Warriors.
Well, he just couldn't quite get back then. Liam Moore, I think he was talking to the two players at the side of him. Was it Kai O'Donnell, Edwin Apapi, trying to work with them, make this game exciting, an exciting night at Super League we've got right across the board.
O'Neill then, he's French, and here is Kai Pearce-Paul. Let's have a look at the latest scores elsewhere. Warrington 12-0 up at Huddersfield. Leeds looking to end the season with some sort of positivity. 6-0 up against Castleford. Catalan leading at Salford. And St Helens 2-0 up against Hull FC. And Hull KR 12-0 now against Wakefield.
3. Move! Back up, Joe, come on. 3. 10's good.
Here's Fields. Field trying to go round the outside. His progress stopped by Chamberlain and Reynolds.
Hold, Tom.
Here's Liam Farrell now. Wigan 5 metres away from that lead try line. Fifth tackle. Smith is lurking to the left. He'll put one of his kicks in. No, he won't. They're going to run it. Field is going to try and weave his way through, and he will. Oh my word! There was never a chance that Jay Field was going to find room there. Magically, he somehow did. That was absolutely extraordinary. His 60th of the season. From a standing start, that was just extraordinary.
Unbelievable, isn't it? He burst onto the scenes back in 2021 against Leigh, made his debut, only managed the last 19 minutes for a horrific hamstring injury, ruined more or less his first season. But look at that, the strength, the balance, that's really poor defence from the Leopards. If the Leopards want to go on and win this game and end up in fourth spot, they've got to do a better job than that. Look, he's quick, he's got good footwork. He shouldn't be able to go down the short side, off this pass, and go through 3 defenders. When they have a little look at this again, Leigh and Adrian Lamb, they'll be so disappointed. Big start from them, but a soft try to concede.
Matt Peat on his feet for that Field try. That's a try in each of the last 4 games for him now. And his 3rd try against Leigh this season. He got 2 against them in March in the victory there. Now then, Harry Smith, has he brought his kicking boots? He can be wayward. Catalan Dragons' Adam Kieran waiting in the wings, and he'll no doubt take on that duty next season. But will he be needed? Because Harry Smith's on target. First of the night, and Wigan lead by 6 points to 0.
Yeah, we want Clay go down that short side. Again, look at that. Gets rid of Chamberlain, gets rid of Reynolds. Tom Briscoe just plants his feet. And there's not a chance when you're up against and you're defending against a man with some genuine speed. You've got to be moving forward. You can't be defending on your heels. That's what a quick man wants to see. He's terrorised defences for the last couple of years, hasn't he? And he's got the first points on the board for his side.
Had an unfortunate debut in Super League against Leigh in 2021, did Jay Field. He badly tore his hamstring after 19 minutes in his opening game against Leigh. But he's had a strong season this year. This time Dupree avoids the first challenge. They've been picking him out, haven't they?
Well, it's Edward Papi again. He's going after him, isn't he? Saying, right, we'll stop the go forward here. If it's going to be Cade Ellis and Tyler Dupree who's going to take the first few, I think Edwin Apapi's going after them.
Wigan wanting a solid start here to just douse the Leopards' fire, because Leigh intent on spoiling the party. That league leader's shield looking for a home tonight. Here's Cade Ellis, here is Bevan French. Kai Pearce-Paul now. Harry Smith on the last little chip kick into the corner. Briscoe climbs for it, under pressure. Good work from Reynolds to just give him some cover.
Yeah, he was under some huge pressure then, Tom Briscoe. Too much time to get that kick away then, Harry Smith. No real inside pressure, no one jamming in, making him feel uncomfortable. Bit of a problem now as well with Rob Mulhern, who's been one of the standout players this year. Physio just checking him, just making sure that he's okay to continue.
Oh,
dangerous.
Leigh living dangerously there.
Yeah. Well, when they've been playing off power in recent weeks, I know they've only won 2 out of the last 5, but play off some power and then play for quick play of the ball. Not when you're on the back foot trying to throw the ball when you're 10 metres from your line. I don't think that's the play to do.
So Lamb, 5th tackle, he's forced to kick from on his own 10. Testimony to the pressure that Wigan were putting on, and here's Marshall running it straight back at them.
Yeah, what great defence then from Matty Pete's men, really getting off the line, disrupting the tactics from Lachlan Lamb and his side.
Here is Jake Wardle. Now then Farrell picks his spot. That's the Leigh 30-metre line, and here is Morgan Smithies, and here is Tyler Dupree again. Brad O'Neill, Bevan French shows it to Kai Pearce-Paul, little kick ahead, the ball ricochets and French is quick to react, gets the ball back, it's still the 4th tackle. That's the 5th, and French trying to get to his feet quickly, unable to do so. Good work from Mulhern there. And Harry Smith kicks crossfield towards Briscoe's wing. Chamberlain is underneath it, the ball's gone forward, it's picked up by Farrell. It's 6 to go, says the referee. Leigh knocking the ball into Wigan hands, so the pressure continues.
Put themselves under a bit of pressure here now. The ball goes up, Chamberlain knocks the ball forward, Liam Farrell there ready to pounce for it.
Here's Morgan Smithies now. Smithies, virtual ever-present, only missed 1 game this season, plays the ball. Brad O'Neill, Harry Smith now. Smith brings Kai Pearce-Paul back on the inside. The Bromley-born second rower, destined for the NRL next season, looking to end his Wigan career on a high. Here's Patrick Mago. Mago, brute force almost taking him over the line. He's held just short. Wigan looking for a second try of the night. O'Neill spins it out. His Field. Field on it goes, and Wardle, will he get there? Not quite. Just short of the line. Fifth tackle. And they are held up, says the referee. That was very optimistic from Liam Farrell.
Well, it was good defence, wasn't it, from Reynolds? Switched on Gareth O'Brien the play before, along with Ed Chamberlain. Just denies them from getting over the try line. So important, this set of 6 now. Look at them, they're trapped in the corner. You can see what Wigan are going to do here. They're going to be quick, they're going to get off the line. So important the Leopards get to the kick and earn some field position.
Move! Hold! Hold!
Wigan going into this game having won 8 in a row in Super League, and their last defeat was the 26-27 extra time loss at Wakefield.
That's it. You look at them, Billy, in those 8 games that you talk about, they've scored 30, they've scored an average of 38, they've conceded just 8 points. That's how good they have been coming into this sort of into this game and then going into the playoffs.
Well, Leigh, of course, have defied all predictions to be where they are, let alone having won the Challenge Cup. And they're not done this season yet. 4th or 5th, that's potentially where they could finish. It has been a remarkable season for Adrian Lamb's men. Here is Lachlan Lamb, his son, bursting back infield. Reynolds bulldozing his way through the middle. 5th tackle.
All lads, go 5.
Lamb, little grubber kick. It's 6 to go. It was played at, says the referee.
Yeah, it's Kyle Pierce-Paul. It comes off his right hand when he just goes to make a play at it. Nice play from Gilbert.
Running from Gilbert right off the mark, and that caught Wigan cold. Almost found a way through Oliver Gildart. Oh, that's a stray pass, and Wigan are going to swoop on it. It's Harry Smith who's first there, and Adrian Lamb cannot believe it.
Sloppy built, second play, they made the mistake.
Here goes Marshall, here goes Liam Marshall. Eventually stopped by Reynolds, but that's how Wigan can hurt you. 1 minute they're defending on their own try line from Oliver Gildart. Now they are on the front foot.
And that's it, good teams get you on the counter, don't they? They had a full set of 6 on the line, a sloppy pass like that puts them under pressure, relieving pressure.
So the tables are turned. Here is Toby King. His lone spell with Wigan will come to an end at the end of this season. Morgan Smithies, Patrick Mago. King on his way back to Warrington. He's had a great season in Wigan colours, though. O'Neill, Smithies, Smith takes it to the line. Field on it comes, and Wardle will try again, and this time he will get there. Denied just a few moments ago. This time, Jake Wardle finds a way through for his 15th try of the season. Oh, that is cruel, but that is Super League. Leigh thought they had Wigan down the other end. Oliver Gildart came so close, but in the blink of an eye, Wigan have turned it round, and Wardle gets the try.
Well, they're trying to go over the line on one end of the field, and they put themselves under pressure at the other end of the field. And Jake Wardle, there you go, Derek Beaumont, that look says it all, doesn't it? He knows now that they're under a bit of pressure, they're under the pump. And you look how good Jake Wardle is. What a good signing. That swap deal involved with Bibby and Halsall. Went to Huddersfield. He goes the other way, gets over. Quality player. And that's what it means to the coach.
That's 7 in a row Jake Wardle has scored in now. In fact, the last game he failed to score in was at the end of July against the Leigh Leopards, so he's righted the book there with that one. But he has been a great recruit as well. I mean, Toby King's going back to Warrington, but the partnership, him and Wardle, that's worked well, hasn't it?
Been outstanding. Well, you look at the wingers, like, they get a lot of plaudits, don't they, for the amount of tries that they've scored, but you've got to look at the centres, who's inside them, who supplies them with that final pass. And the majority of times it's been Wardle and Toby King to the likes of Miskey and Marshall.
So that's, while it's revved the Wigan supporters up, for the Leigh supporters, with Harry Smith missing with that conversion, but a 10-0 scoreline, half an hour coming up, is not what Leigh fans had in mind.
Well, look at this, great at the line, Harry Smith. He takes one for the cause, doesn't he? I mean, same with Jay Field. He's just trying to get a one-on-one. And Jake Wardle just gets on the outside of Ed Chamberlain, manages to get over the line. Played a couple of games in the back row. Jake Wardle, Ed Chamberlain, you would have thought he would have done a better job in stopping that man.
There is Marshall, here is Mago, charging the ball back and leaving. I tell you what, he left Amon on the deck.
Well, he's looked like a different player, hasn't he? He signed his new one-year deal. He's carried on with his form. The competition for places to get into the finals, the eliminators, and maybe the final. That's what you want, isn't it? You don't want to be secured in your own surroundings, thinking that you're going to be nailed on to play every week.
It's French drilling the kick down the middle of the fields, and it's a good kick.
Yes.
O'Brien back near his own try line, and Harry Smith leading the chase.
Well, Gareth O'Brien couldn't get in any momentum going forward. Then as soon as he got the ball and looks up, the Warriors just hit him with everything. And this is a slow play, the ball.
Here is Charnley now. Hasn't had a chance to show what has given him such an edge this season. 26 tries to his name. Formidable try scorer in his Wigan days. 164 tries in 173 appearances for Wigan. Josh Charnley is Joe Mellor, and Mellor, that was high on him, and a welcome penalty for the Leopards.
Well, manages to get a penalty. It was high, but I think the first defence they were offside as well. You see, it's Patrick Mago. You get any quick man around the ruck who goes from the dummy half, and it does terrify big men laterally. Not always the best. Swinging arms, just stick your arm out. You want to get hold of them.
Back up, boys, please.
Half time approaching. Can Leigh get some traction in this game? Give Wigan something to think about. They really haven't challenged the Wigan defence. Kai O'Donnell taking the ball up. Gildart there in 31, the closest to getting over that Wigan try line. Here is Tom Amon now.
Move, Morgan! Come on, Kai.
And Wigan with a bit of defending to do. Reynolds quickly on and into the arms of Marshall.
See the frustration.
But it was touched by a Wigan hand, I think.
Yeah, there's some frustration. I think Harry Smith, he disagrees with that, looks at the sideline. He gets the ball, a little touch. You can see the ball change direction. And when Reynolds passes that ball, you can just see the little nudge. But Adrian Lamb just not happy. He doesn't realise that they're going to get the ball back. He wants him to be a bit more clinical here. And Reynolds, well, giving a bit of a helping hand to Liam Moore, the referee. Get the scrum centre field. The big indicator for this will which way will Gareth O'Brien, the full-back, swing.
They go to the left. Here is Lamb. O'Brien's pass for Charnley, and Charnley is in touch. Look at the Wigan celebrations of that defensive effort. The Leigh threat has been extinguished. Just Charnley in the middle of them all. And Wigan enjoying the moment.
Yeah, exactly. They like to get under your skin, don't they? But the big thing to look at here is from a scrum. You look how many players in a Warriors jersey get over there. Look, said Gareth O'Brien's the big key indicator. He gets the ball, he tries to pass it to Charnley, who then tries to bump off. Is it Abbas Miski? Two big wingers going at it there, and you can see, look at that, good defence from Abbas Miski. He's just holding his line, he's not panicking at all. He's biding a bit of time for the men on the inside just to work across, and that's great defence.
Josh Charnley denied. Now then, Miski getting a taste of his own medicine. Right, busy night. John Wells is on the case.
Yeah, incredibly busy, but the top three, as we can see here at Wigan, at Catalan and St Helens, all doing a job. They're not closing the gap in terms of those massive points differences. The interest is at Wakefield. The points difference now is just plus 18 in favour of Leigh. Leigh need to not let this game get away from them, because the Robins are once again pressing on Wakefield's line.
Thanks, John.
Go, 4.
Harry Smith on the fourth, kicking deep. Briscoe comes round to gather the ball, looking for a spot, bounces off French. No bouncing off Junior Nsemba.
Again, it's a good kick, isn't it, from Harry Smith, but the Leopards have got to make sure they try and catch that ball. There you go. Josh Charnley.
Sent back where he came from. They've got it in for Josh tonight.
Yeah, set restart they're going to get here.
Down to the sidelines, Jenna.
Yeah, Bill, Wigan Warriors prop Tyler Dupree came off about 5, maybe 7 minutes ago. Nothing out of the ordinary with that sub. However, you would have noticed his hand heavily strapped. He did receive some intense treatment on that right hand. They've applied ice to it. If Wigan continue in this form, you've got to think that perhaps they'd be reluctant to bring him back out.
Well, they're missing enough front rowers as it is. Havard is out, Liam Byrne, Mike Cooper, as we mentioned before. They don't need to be risking any more, but they're in with a chance here. O'Donnell's pass, and Lamb will get the try. Lamb gets the try. Lamb with the try for the Leigh Leopards. And Leigh conjure up a try out of nothing. Ty O'Donnell's break. Lamb was in support. 9th try of the season. Half-time approaching. Kick to come, and Leigh have the lifeline.
Well, I tell you, you think you get into half-time, you've got 5 minutes to go, you switch off, and the Leopards, like they've done so many times this year, they've burnt teams, they favour this left-hand side, and it was a lovely ball from Lachlan Lamb, who sets it up to Kai O'Donnell, who has been a rock-solid signing for the club. And the Wembley hero, Lachlan Lamb, supplies the ball that breaks the line, and he pushed up on the inside for what could be a real important try. Near to the stick, surely they'll get the 2 points as well. What a big score that is. Adrian Lamb, wow.
That's my boy.
Yes, that's what it means.
Leigh Sports Village is rocking now.
Bouncing, absolutely bouncing.
And the Wigan supporters, for the first time for a while, just a bit subdued. Kick to come from Ben Reynolds to narrow the deficit. Reynolds converts, 6-10, back to John Wells.
Yeah, and the try for the Leigh Leopards immediately cancelled out in the last 10 seconds with a try at Wakefield for OKR. So the points difference is still 18 points in favour of Leigh Leopards, and that means currently they get to play in 4th place at home next week in the Eliminators in front of a home crowd. That is massive.
Long way to go. But Leigh have really livened things up now. Whoa. Whoa. Mulhern on the receiving end there.
You know, you see shots like that, you're glad you sat in the commentary box.
He did look at the referee for a little bit of sympathy there, Robbie Mulhern.
No, you won't get it. You carry off the back line. Some players love it, don't they? Get the ball on the back line, you pick your target, you run it who you want to run at.
Surrender! Stand free! Ball Kai. Ball surrendered. Ball free.
Ipapi on the sideline. Once of Wigan, now assistant coach for the Leigh Leopards, Tony Clubb. Tony, that try has come at a perfect time.
Yeah, that's it. We were under a bit of pressure up there. But we're slowly sort of grant our way back in, and yeah, we're doing pretty good at the minute. We're just need to stop turning the ball over and giving them cheap ways out. We need to build pressure for our D down now and nail that down there, nail them little moments down there, which we're not doing at the moment, but hopefully we can get that right in the second half.
It's really your own mistakes that have contributed to the situation you're in, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You know, a few errors from our back five and people like that. So if we can nail that and, like I said, build pressure for our D and keep them down here.
Tony, thanks a lot.
He wasn't going to blame the forwards, was he? He's just blamed the backs.
He was a
for
winger.
making the errors.
He was a winger once upon a time.
Yes.
Can he pass it or can he pass it to you?
Pause in play, because Toby King is slow to get to his feet. Just a bit aggrieved about the tackle, but a shake of hands with Tom Amone.
Well, they'll be having a look, see if there's any pressure applied to the back of his head from, I think, was it Tom Amone? Well, he's backing away. You can see Tom Amone, he's pulling back.
There's some weight on it, isn't there?
Okay. Where's the captain? Mate, just due to the nature of the contact, the incident's going to go on report.
It's on reports.
It's one of them, Bill, that when the man who's carrying the ball starts going backwards and then the player who's defending is going backwards with him, and then all of a sudden the man who's got the ball up, as soon as he loses his leg there, like, it's very difficult as a defender to make sure that the player goes down in a safe manner. And now Toby King will find himself going to the sideline for the HIA.
And Tom Amone very apologetic about that, and it's difficult to see how he could have sort of extricated himself from that position.
Honestly, you get in positions like that and it is really difficult. There was no malice in that for me from Tom Amone.
Well, the fact is that Toby King has disappeared down the tunnel on the far side of the ground, and Wigan are on the attack, but that's a poor pass and it goes behind the line, and Field has to retrieve it and he loses possession, and the referee will blow for a knock-on by somebody somewhere, and it was Field's error.
Yeah, Leigh will get the ball, but the only reason why that was a poor pass is Joe Mellor. Joe Mellor on the inside put some pressure on Field, I think it was. Well, you can see Reynolds does a number on him defensively, but work from the inside, the ball goes away from you, put pressure on the men who are ball playing, and that's what Joe Mellor did.
Well, as it stands, this is how it will look next week in the eliminators. Leigh will be at home to Hull KR, and St Helens will face Warrington. That's how it stands at the moment. There is a long way to go yet.
Well, that's a Wembley repeat, isn't it, Leigh, against Hull KR? And what a thriller we had there.
Here is Charlie, and again there's a reception committee. Welcome, George.
He's getting some attention, isn't he?
Morgan Smithers is leading it.
Tackle one. Okay.
Bit of barracking going on there. Brad O'Neill and Smithers chipping away.
Two.
Love to know what's said in those situations. Probably not. Best not to know what's said. No. Here is Mellor. Ipape as the half-time hooter sounds, and the ball is in the hands of O'Neill, and Tom Amone puts an end to that. The hooter puts an end to an enthralling first 40 minutes, breathtaking stuff. And Adrian Lamb's side have given themselves hope in the second half. They've wrested some control back from the Wigan Warriors, who had the upper hand for the large part of that first 40 minutes. But things look a lot healthier for the Leigh Leopards at half-time with a 6-10 scoreline.
Bill, Terry, thank you very much. Yes, the Leigh Leopards very much back in this game. It is the final round, I should say, of the Betfred Super League regular season. Well, Wigan were in the ascendancy after their second try, scored through Jake Wardle. We'll analyse that, Wigan's performance and all the other games after this short break. Lots to come here on Sky Sports.
I think it stays the same. I think Wigan have got a lot of momentum now.
X Factor gets it for Wigan.
Same for me. All right. Right, let's get back to Terry O'Connor, I should say, and Bill Arthur standing by for the second half of what is a frantic season finale here on Sky Sports.
It is a full-on Friday, Brian, that is for sure. And there's a full-on 40 minutes to come. Don't rule out the possibility of Golden Point. We've had 8 games in Super League go to extra time this season, a record number since the added time concept was introduced in 2019. And that doesn't include the World Club Challenge, Wigan semi-final, or Leigh at Wembley. In all told, that's 11 games this season have gone to Golden Point extra time. Liam Moore is rewired and ready to get us underway. 6-10 the scoreline as Leigh kicked the second half off, and Leigh ended the first half with lots of positivity.
Yeah, and that will give him a big lift and a nice, calm, composed dressing room. I'm sure Adrian Lamb would have said, look, just cut out a couple of errors in our own half, give ourselves a bit of a chance and a bit of field position. We've shown what we can do, and probably disappointed with Barry McDermott, who tipped Leigh heavily at the start of the game, and then to jump ship at half-time. I still think they've got an opportunity here.
Oh, Kai Pearce-Paul has offloaded that ball, and it's come up for, well, it's going to come up for Leigh, surely.
Well, the ball come backwards off Joe Mellor, I think it was. I'm not sure what happened on the floor then, but he definitely made contact, couldn't quite take the ball. Kai Pearce-Paul, such a big man, 6'5", like you said before. He tries to get it offloaded, comes off Joe Mellor's arm. It goes backwards though, Bill. And then is it Kai Pearce-Paul on the ground who tries to regather it, but just can't quite take it in.
I think Marcus Griffiths, the video ref, who has had a quiet night so far, is having a look at this, and Liam Moore also consulting sideline official.
It's Leigh ball, tackle 1. It goes back
there you
off
go.
Mellor.
And they get dominated. You see so many times in rugby league, players who start to get dominated in defence, they get lifted up, they try and offload away, they make the mistake. Leigh get the ball now, 25 metres, 27 metres from the line. Good solid defence from them.
Kai Pearce-Paul with an ambitious offload in vicinity of his own 20, and it didn't come off, and Leigh have possession. They ended the first half strongly. They're looking to start the second half in just the same manner and attacking the ends where their supporters are congregated. And to compound the Wigan problem, set restart signalled by Liam Moore.
He's been good since he's come off the bench, hasn't he, Joe Mellor?
Here is Tom Amone now. Good strength from the front rower. Wigan managing to keep him at bay. Cade Ellis managing to keep him on the ground a bit longer. Good defence again. Donald driven back. Here's Mellor. Ipapi to Reynolds. Reynolds shows it once, and Gareth O'Brien. On it comes to Lamb, stretching for it and falling into the clutches of the Wigan defenders who've got the taste for this. They've got the taste for it.
Outstanding defence. You could see there was some hesitation from Lachlan Lamb. They did it in the first half. Look, he's going towards the sideline, tries to put the brakes on because he knows that the Warriors defenders, the first contact will hold him up high. And Adrian Lamb, look, frustrated. At least it's down near the line. Derek Beaumont, look, shake of the head. 4 points behind. 38 minutes to go in this game. The Leopards are well and truly in this game.
Word from the sideline with Jenna is that Toby King, who went off at the end of the first 40 minutes, has passed his head injury assessment and will be able to return for Wigan. Meanwhile, it's Leigh's turn to put the shoulder in defensively. And that's good work on Miskey as Wigan try and work their way out of their own territory. Down on the sideline, probably wishing he was involved in a game like this, is Wigan assistant coach Sean O'Loughlin. The ball went backwards. Sean, you've got a scrap on your hands here.
We have. It's exactly what we thought it would be. The game's still in the balance, and we was expecting it to be like this all the way to the end of the game. It's going to be a tough one. Both teams got awards to fight for, so it's an exciting game at the minute.
What's the priority in the early stages of the second half, Sean?
I think the whole game is going to be about defence. It's wet. It's about territory and then defending whatever players we see. But it's both teams are going at it. Both teams are chucking the bodies in. It's physical. It's exactly what we love to see, and it's entertaining at the minute.
Thanks, Sean.
Cheers, thank you.
Ball now, hold.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, that was wicked. That was a wicked kick from Wigan. Look, both sets of players fronting up, they're getting the bodies in front, aren't they? Just trying to compete, trying to force that error. See Ed Chamberlain just trying to milk a few more metres.
And Liam Moore very calmly just telling him to go back. No histrionics.
Move now! What with me? Hold! Ball free.
And Wigan looking to restrict Leigh's progress. There's Kai O'Donnell.
Hold, Brad. Hold.
Gone strongly for Leigh so far tonight. Tom Amone. 4 tackles out and gone. That's the
Back up now. Come on, Kai.
5th tackle.
Hold.
Just outside. Wigan's 40 and a little dink into the corner for Abbas Miski to run back. Let's go to John Wells again for an update.
Yeah, and it's a Wakefield score, which is, I guess, a reward indirectly for the pressure that Leigh are keeping on Wigan. Wakefield, scoring in the corner through Liam Kay, has restored a 24-point cushion. So whilst Leigh are behind on the scoreboard here, their Robins are not putting the points on that are required to make this switch. This next week, this week one eliminator switch to Craven Park. It will stay here at the Leigh Sports Village as it stands.
John Wells' brain's going to be frazzled after this game, isn't he? He'll be in bed all tomorrow.
French with a kick. Deep, straight down the middle of the field, and it holds perfectly on the try line.
And that's why it's so important to try and get that ball. It was a great kick, but it's so important to try and catch the ball on the full. Well, they've probably got another 10 metres, the bounce of the ball, another 10 metres going forward, and now you've got this relentless line speed from the Warriors.
And they really are giving it now to the Leigh Leopards as they try and bring this ball away. Briscoe, the latest player to try and make some yards. Now Chamberlain. The drums beating away to our left among the Wigan supporters. The Leigh supporters down below us responding. Olé, 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 they chant. It's not a very Spanish night. The rain intermittently falling. There's a bit of an autumnal chill in the air. The grand final can't be far away. The kick is fielded by Liam Marshall.
All right, it's always this sort of grand final weather, isn't it? And the Warriors restricted the metres then. It was a tough kick from Local Lamb to try and get any distance, really, under a bit of pressure as well.
Here is Liam Farrell now. Ever willing worker. Just missed 2 games this season, Farrell. Here is Morgan Smithies. He's only missed 1 game. They've had some continuity in the pack. Not in the front row, unfortunately, for Wigan. And here is Bevan French. Leigh have managed to keep French quiet. They didn't manage to keep Field quiet in the first half. Smith kicking cross field. Wardle is challenging for it, but it's Chamberlain who comes up for it. Comes up with it for Leigh.
Yeah, he took that well, didn't he? Then Ed Chamberlain. Again, there's not enough pressure for me on Harry Smith. He drops the ball exactly where he wants it. He drops that ball on Ed Chamberlain's head. There's a bit of pressure from many of the Warriors players around him. Makes it into a contest. Could have been an error.
Harry Smith has the most attacking kicks in Super League this season. A real threat. And on a night like this, the pitch damp and greasy, rain in the air, that's a potent weapon. Gareth O'Brien's turn to kick straight down the field, but straight into the arms of Field. And Field looking to counter. A good chase. Hughes leading the way for Leigh.
Yeah, well, Jack Hughes sets himself high standards, doesn't he? Ultra professional, cut him down then. Just trying to kick the ball behind him, but just couldn't quite place the kick exactly where they wanted it then.
Here is Miski now, and Ipapi stands firm on the halfway line. Here's Toby King, back in action after passing that to HIA. Morgan Smithies. When it comes to Harry Smith, and Smith to Farrell, who cuts back into the middle of the field until he runs into the clutches of Mulhern. fifth tackle, and Smith will lob this one up high, and O'Brien is underneath it. O'Brien climbs to claim it.
Yeah, well taken, didn't take his eyes off the ball then. It was so easy to look at what's in front of him, which was a couple of Warriors players. See Tom Briscoe just going across the line, just desperate to find a bit of space and someone shooting the line.
Here is Charnley. Been a great season for the Leigh Leopards. They have defeated 9 of the 11 clubs in the competition. The only teams they have failed to win against are the Catalan Dragons and Wigan, who they've lost to twice.
I think they've been that good, not only just winning the cup, but when you look at what they've done, what they've achieved, when the Super League Dream Team gets announced, I'm sure the majority of the team will be from Leigh. They've been that good. They have been that good. There could be 5 players in that Super League Dream Team.
Name names.
I think Tom O'Mone, if you look at Tom O'Mone, you could look at Lachlan Lamb, Epapi, John Asiata, Charnley, Rob Mulhern. No, there's good competition. That's what we want, isn't it? We want to be discussing who's going to be in that Super League Dream Team. Obviously, you look at Warrington, who've not had the best of the season, but George Williams has been immense as well.
French, Field now. Field, little step. Field finds the break. And he's got support. He doesn't need the support. He doesn't need the support. The referee's brought them back. The Wigan fans celebrate. There's obstruction way back on the 40-metre line. Wigan is celebrating, but they'll have to go all the way back. Obstruction was the call from Terry O'Connor, and he's dead right.
Yeah, and the Leigh fans have only just got it now. You can see that June December goes through. There's just that bit of contact on Kai O'Donnell, who stops him from closing that gap. And soon as it happens, Tom O'Mone went over and high-fived him. He knew that he'd get called back. As soon as he hit the ground, look, he gets in the clear. It's a try. But the contact on Kai O'Donnell there just spins him a bit, knocks him off his stride. Wow.
That is a massive, massive let-off for Leigh. And Junior Semba is now in the dugout, having been replaced. And Leigh, off the back of the penalty, have an opportunity to turn the tables. There was Field, seemingly cruising in for his second of the game. And now, Leigh with an opportunity. Is Ben Nakumbuwai. Mellor little darts, almost ducked under the Wigan challenges. Smith has managed to stop his progress. Here's Reynolds. Back in field comes Jack Hughes. 4 tackles gone.
Release for holding in.
Mellor. On it goes from Matt Davis. Davis to Lamb. Lamb. Try surely is Gildart. Gildart gets the try. Not given yet. No try, says Liam Moore. Marcus Griffiths is the video ref.
Looking at contact on outside shoulder.
So it's tackle 4. We're checking for obstruction. The on-field decision is no try. So we're looking for obstruction. So does the contact made on an outside shoulder? So that is okay to that point. So if we could just go back to that contact on French, please. So the contact to French is on. So yeah, we'll use this angle. So the contact looks to be flush. We have an on-field decision of no try. So the contact looks to be flush. Can we have it from the front on angle so we can just confirm? So this will be the one where we see it. So is the contact flush? We have an on, so we can't see it though as such. We have an on-field decision of no try. So we're just checking for that contact on French.
Yeah, live balls, no try.
Yeah, so the live call is no try. Due to the on-field decision, we do not have sufficient evidence to confirm whether the contact is front on or inside shoulder. Thank you, I've made a decision.
Whoa! The let-on for Leigh at one end, and now it looks like a let-off for Wigan at the other. Gildart denied by the most minute, surely, obstruction.
Look, I am sorry. There's sufficient evidence. There's absolutely sufficient evidence for me that Bevan French, he wasn't impeded really. Look, there's a bit of a brush. He's not really pushed back. He doesn't lose his foot and he doesn't get knocked off his balance.
He carries on
exactly,
across the field.
exactly. Look, he doesn't affect the outcome of what Toby King's doing, who's the number 3, who gets sucked in a bit. Gildart goes over. Not a problem for me. That was a try.
Move down! Hold the 10.
Wow. So we've had Field denied for Wigan and Gildart denied for Leigh. Now, there wasn't much debate about the Field obstruction, but that's a really contentious call. The fact is, it remains 6-10 in favour of Wigan, who are on their way to the league leaders' shield as it stands. Smith, a little kick into the corner over the head of Briscoe, who has to retreat. It's a good kick, and Briscoe has no option. That's a good kick. John Wells, update.
Yeah, and a really significant last couple of minutes, because whilst Oliver Gildart was denied, the Robins have managed to score another. It's Brad Schneider's second phase play from the Robins. A nice ball from Matt Parcell. This points cushion is wavering to and fro. Leigh are losing, but they maintain a points difference of +18, which keeps them at home in the Week 1 eliminators. Big, big moment this evening.
Goal line dropouts after that superb kick from Harry Smith. Gareth O'Brien finds Bevan French. It's Harvey Hill, the 20-year-old sub. Cade Ellis, once a Penrith junior. Sam Powell, Smith, French little drop-off ball to Miskey. Miskey wrestles away Mac Davis's challenge and takes a couple of them with him. He has got some power, has Abbas Miskey, the Lebanese international. Harry Smith gets the buzz away to Field. Field evades the first challenge. Shapes to kick, keeps on going, almost gets there. He wants that second try as Jay Field almost got there. Wardle. Here is Sam Powell. Ellis. Tackle just inside that Leigh 10. That's the 5th tackle. What will Smith come up with here? Just juggling with the ball, and that's time enough for Reynolds and co to close him in.
Yeah, exactly. He just couldn't get a nice clean catch on that. Everyone knew that he was going to the ball. You referenced it in the first half. He's kicked the ball more than anybody else in the comp. They get a penalty. High. Yeah. No, a couple of little calls are going for them. There was like the offload. Then they made a mistake. And I think come off Joe Mellor, you can see the shot from Cade Ellis. Hits him square flush.
More news from John.
Got 2 6-point ball games. We have got a game on at Huddersfield. Huddersfield have just scored through Will Price. Jake Connor starts the move. Tuilola here provides a lovely pass, and then what about that for a step and try? It is now a 6-point ball game between Warrington and Huddersfield, and a 6-point ball game Salford and Catalan. There may be a story developing there for 6th place.
Here is Jack Hughes. Oh, Mellor goes without the ball. Now then, Wigan celebrating. Leigh thought they'd got the ball back.
Yeah, they did. Then they got the call from the sideline, then Liam Moore. Most games everywhere, just 4 points in it here as well. You can see that, look, Harvey Hill, he makes a play for it. Does he make contact with the ball or his hand? Well, the referee thinks that he's made contact with the arm, and then Joe Mellor's just knocked the ball on. You'll see it now. That's come off the ball. And a couple of calls going against them now, haven't they? Leigh, it's just how they respond to that.
is whether Wigan can capitalise. They're inside. Leigh's 40 with the scrum feed.
Get hands over, please, Sam. Shot clock off.
Liam Moore just organising that scrum. And here is Toby King.
One. Move now. Hold.
One of the most prolific offloaders in the competition, Toby King, second only to Jack Welsby. And here is Harvey Hill now.
Two.
The Cumbrian.
Hold.
Off the bench for Wigan. Smith is French and Field.
Surrender.
Confronted by Ben Reynolds.
Wait now, wait.
3 tackles gone. Is Farrell now. And Morgan Smithies back into the middle of the field.
Move in.
About 15 metres away from that lead try line. Powell, change of direction. Field a burst of pace. Another great defensive tackle from Ben Reynolds. Stop Field in his tracks. So Harry Smith on the last, kicks to the other flank now. Kai Pierce-Paul bats it down to French. French going on the outside, trying to keep the ball alive. And it's picked up by King and eventually in touch, and Leigh dealt with that well. They let the ball play and waited for the opportunity, and they will get the ball back. John Wells again.
I told you there was a story developing for 6th place potentially. We said there was a ball game on at Huddersfield with Price's score. We'll take a look at this at Salford. Helliwell going straight through and levels up the scores. If Salford win, remember, and Warrington get beaten at Huddersfield, it is the Red Devils that take the last playoff place.
Well, here you go. This is how it stands at the moment. Warrington ahead at Huddersfield, 14-8. Leeds, well, atoning for their 2 recent miserable performances. 40-0 up against Castleford they are. Salford now 8 points apiece. Kick to come, I think. And St Helens 14-6 up against Hull FC. So not the shellacking that Saints fans were anticipating. Wakefield 12, Hull KR 30.
Well, what a finish. Hopefully they'll take it into the playoffs, won't they? The form the Eliminators next week.
That's how it looks from 4th down. Leigh going to stay where they are. Hull KR. Warrington claiming 6, and Salford missing out, but more twists and turns to come. Oh, that's a good kick. That's a great kick. And Miskey and Field getting in a terrible tangle, and it's a 40-20 that Leigh will profit from.
Wow, what a composed play. Look at that. It's about 5-6 metres off that 40-metre line. We see Miskey, he's hoping for the favourable bounce. He doesn't get it. He bounces over his head, goes over the sideline. Wow.
Here's Matt Davis now. Former London Bronco, former Leicester Storm. Mellor, Oliver Holmes, as Adrian Lamb uses his bench players, and Wigan tracking back to their own try line. Leigh, their supporters that end of the ground, urging them on. Quick hands, good defence from the Warriors to snuff out Gildart's threat. There's Nakubawai.
He's just setting the line now. Look like they're going right here. They're setting up for it with the shape.
Lots of players in movement. Here is Lamb. Lamb puts the little kick in. Hughes was chasing. And Wigan concede the goal line dropout. Smith with the little touch to make it safe.
Yeah, not taking any chances on the 4th play. Lachlan Lamb, he knows he's got a couple of players outside him, but defensively, the Warriors were all set. It's another set that they have to ask some more questions. And Adrian Lamb knows, and he's confident with what he's got and what he's built in his side, that if they can get near their opponent's try line, they have got some strike to cause problems, like we've seen all year.
Smith with the restart up to the halfway line. Here's Big Ben. That run is stopped. Wigan 40-metre line. Here is Charnley. Wigan have kept him quiet so far tonight. 2 really good tackles on him in the first half. Charnley plays the ball. Mellor, and Mellor has knocked that on. Leigh furious.
It looked like he was trying to milk a penalty at one point then. There was a player on the ground, Josh Charnley, good meters after contact, Harvey Hill. You can see, look, it just goes into him. I don't even think, was he make contact with the ball? Well, he gets caught up, doesn't he?
He was looking for that,
yeah, he was trying to milk it. Just play on. You've got a man that's left on the floor in Harvey Hill. 9 times out of 10, you run. The hooker runs if there's a man on the ground and there's only one hooker. And I say Joe Mellor then, he has his chance again, he would not do that.
That is so frustrating. You'd see why Adrian Lamb was seething there, because Ben Reynolds had put them in a great position with that 40-20, and then they immediately squander it with something like that.
Well, that's it. Mistakes, penalties, things that you're in control of that you don't do well. That's what frustrates coaches.
Wardle plays the ball. Harry Smith. Cade Ellis comes fast onto that pass, but runs into Oliver Holmes's tackle. Here's Morgan Smithies. Smithies, like so many players out there tonight with a background in rugby league in the Halifax area. As Smith hoists the kick. Briscoe comes for it, and Briscoe claims it well. Let's go down and rejoin John Wells again.
It is all going on in West Yorkshire. Hull KR have scored 2 more tries since we were last with them. This one, fantastic try, Manic Storm that finishes. Is great break from Mikey Lewis, and I can tell you, as a result of this, albeit a missed conversion from Brad Schneider, the points cushion, which was 34 before the ball was kicked this evening, is now down to just 2 points difference in Leigh's favour. Leigh need to get on their bike.
Here you go. Leigh in 4th as it stands. Hull KR 5th. And Warrington in 6th. Salford still clinging on to the hope. But just 2 points in terms of points difference separating Leigh and Hull KR. We are, as it was at the start of the second half here, 10 points to 6 in Wigan's favour.
There's still going to be some drama, isn't there? There could have easily been a try for the Leopards, which was chalked off. We've still got drama left in the last 17 minutes.
Marshall. Edwin Ipapi doing the tackling, the PNG international hooker. Here is Farrell. Wigan grinding their way forward, and then Powell puts the kick in. It's a good one, and French is chasing it for all he's worth, and it's a great chase from Bevan French to tackle Gareth O'Brien, and it gives the Wigan teammates an opportunity to get on site and restrict Leigh even further.
Yeah, well, Bevan French, he was quick out the blocks, wasn't he, to win tackle 1, and then his teammates now will take over when he can have a bit of a rest over on that right-hand side for them. Win those big plays, win those big moments, grind down the opposition. Robin Mulhern just trying to make a dent in that line.
Here is Ipapi now, really popular figure with the Leigh Leopard supporters, the former PNG Hunters hooker. Lamb, towering kick, Field well placed to gather it, and always looking for a flagging defensive line, but Jack Hughes isn't flagging. Oh no.
And that's what happens whenever you get hold of a speedster like that. If you're a forward, you try and manhandle him and drive him into the ground like Jack Hughes did then.
Don't try that one again, he says.
It's just all about being connected in defence, isn't it? Working with the man either side here.
The thing is, Field will try it again. Yeah, he will try and try again.
Of course he will. It's in his DNA. He's an attacking player, isn't he? He gets the balls, he looks up. He's just trying to run in between a couple of players and use his speed and footwork like we saw with his first try.
It's King, and King has offloaded that, and it's gone forward. And he's furious with himself.
Remember, you said it before, one of the most prolific offloaders in Super League. He tries to offload this ball under a bit of pressure. He just doesn't get hold of it with his hand. It's in his forearm. And the anguish on his face says it all. They don't get to the kick, they don't pressure Leigh near the line.
Up the wires, as they say in Auckland at the moment. They are so excited about their playoff game against Brisbane coming up tomorrow morning. New Zealand Warriors.
10 seconds. Wait, boys. Okay, let's get in. Heads down.
Another HIA being conducted at the moment, and Wigan front rower Cade Ellis has gone up the tunnel. Meanwhile, here is Gareth O'Brien, and King with the tackle on him.
Move! Paul, go, what?
Charnley. Two prolific try scorers out there, Charnley and Miskey, and neither of them really had a hint of a chance, have they? Ipape, Reynolds, here is Hughes now, and Hughes was looking for some company.
Yeah, he just needed someone on his shoulder, and Lachlan Lamb just turned up a bit late for him.
Here is Ipape. He can be a dangerous runner. Here is Lamb, O'Brien, Gildarts. That's the 5th tackle. Lamb signalling what he wants. It's with Ipape, they're running it. Now then, Reynolds. Is Reynolds going to put boot to ball? He does. Little kick and good covering work from field.
That's great kick and great defence, isn't it, Ed Chamberlain? Look at that, across the line. Just pulling those defenders up. And Jayfield at the back, just trying to pressure Wardle and Marshall. Gets the right weight on that kick. Ben Reynolds. And to the applause of the coach, Adrian Lamb.
More action.
Oh, Leigh wish they could have posted some points there, because we've got an update from Wakefield that the try that was scored, Matty Staunton's 2nd of the season, was actually a penalty try. There has been an additional 2 points added by the boot of Brad Schneider. Points are now completely wiped out with that 8-point try.
And that's how it stands in the race for the playoffs. Here is Mulhern. Leigh need to turn this round. They trail 6-10 here in a really intense game. The pass is a stray one, and it's picked up by Marshall.
Well, we give him a lot of compliments about his kick. That pass was really poor from Reynolds. Tried to play through the line, didn't he? That front door ball instead of going out the back. Was it Kai O'Donnell that he just couldn't get to? Even if he would have caught the ball, he would have been in a forward. It would have been a forward pass, and Adrian Lamb, well, the anguish says it all.
He's a very expressive coach, Adrian Lamb. And another kick chase, and French is here in after this. Back goes O'Brien, and French gets his man again.
Well, again, kick on the 3rd play, just try and unsettle him. And the Warriors just trying to take over it. Again, trap him in the corner, get off the line, pressure them, force the error.
And the Wigan supporters urging their side on in defence to try and keep Leigh down at that end of the field. Here is Charnley. Feel the impact up here. This is a ferocious game, intense as they come. Here is Ipape, Oliver Holmes, Reynolds, little kick ahead from Chamberlain. Field comes across, Field gathers, and he's brought down on the 10-metre line. And now Leigh's turn to try and put the squeeze on. John Wells.
We have the first change in the top 6. Ryan Hall's try at Wakefield against Wakefield has put them in a points difference advantage. The Leigh Leopards, remember, are losing. Hull KR are winning, and they have wiped out now the points difference disadvantage they had. They now move up to 4th in the table, and as it stands, the Week 1 eliminator will be at Craven Park.
40.
Well done, John. I think you're going to get a gig on election night next year. You know, you could have a swingometer.
Just see how we coach with tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see much of him in the next few days.
Good kick from Wigan. And Leigh, as Briscoe gets wearily to his feet. Leigh have almost run themselves into the ground. 10 minutes to go. This is how week 1 of the Eliminators will look like. Hull KR will be at home to Leigh, and St Helens will entertain Warrington. I love that expression. They will entertain Warrington. Do come in.
No. Go 3.
Still plenty to come.
4. Move now. Back up. Hold.
Here is Reynolds. Reynolds, Lamb, King with the tackle on O'Brien.
They fancy this right-hand side, don't they, Leigh? A couple of times, last couple of sets that they've had, they're looking at having a crack at them here.
Little kick from Lamb, drills it along the ground, and it bounces up nicely for Abbas Miski. Mulhern misses him, but there's backup to stop the winger. Here is King. Mellor on his back.
That's a good carry, that, from King.
Is Liam Marshall.
He gets the benefit of that quick play of the ball. Liam Marshall.
Into the last 8 minutes, and Wigan looking for a try that will maybe put this game to bed. They're not home and dry yet. And Leigh will feel aggrieved about the try from Gildart that they had disallowed for obstruction in this second half. It remains 10-6, as it was at half-time, in favour of the Wigan Warriors, who are top of the table. And that is where they're going to finish the season the way things stand, finish the regular season and get their hands on the league leaders trophy with defence like that. And listen to the Wigan fans salute their side.
Yeah, he's called hell though, hasn't he? When he lifted his legs up, he got drove back over the line. They've done it a number of times, Matty Pete's men.
It's as good as, Terry.
Yeah.
Because they're probably going to end up over that line again at this rate.
Well, look, he's desperate. You can see Ben Reynolds just urging his players to carry the ball. It's Gareth O'Brien who has to carry the ball into the heart of the defence. These are tough carries. These when you want your big boys turning up, carrying the ball and taking the battle forward. Josh Jarnley runs into 3 defenders, doesn't get much joy.
A bruising contest this is. The Leigh supporters defiant, trying to lift their side, but that's the 5th tackle. They're only just outside their own 20. Well, when Reynolds kicks it, he's inside his 20. The kick is just over the halfway line, while Miski fields it. John Wells, quick update.
Yeah, we've had a drop goal at Salford, but I'm led to believe, as I'm speaking, that the Catalan Dragons have scored again. So that means they're likely now to secure second place. That's the drop goal from the Catalan Dragons. They will have a bye as it stands and a home semi-final. Someone has got to go to the south of France.
I'll go.
Put my hand up.
I'll go.
Wigan, meanwhile, their eyes focused on the league leaders' shield. As it stands, then, Wigan will finish top, Catalan will take second spot, and St Helens will have to be content with third, and they will relinquish the league leaders' shield, and it'll pain them to hand it over to Wigan. Here's Harry Smith, little dink kick over the top. He will chase it himself. The great covering work from Gareth O'Brien.
Yeah, gets himself in a good position, doesn't he? Has a knack of that. Had a nice bounce as well. Nice play from Harry Smith over the top. The Leopards now, well, they look out on the feet. They scored in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Can they come up with points in the last 5 minutes of the second half?
Can they get out of their own half?
And that's it. You just look now how fit the Warriors look. Talked about the physicality in this game. Who's gonna come out on top? In the back end of the game, that could have been a flop from Tyler Dupree.
And Wigan going to get the weekend off. By the look of things, not home and dry yet. And Leigh will have to do it all again next week. O'Brien wearily to his feet. Here is Ipape. Reynolds. Chamberlain. Here is Briscoe. Briscoe with a little kick ahead, but too strong. Field. Or not. Well, Field cruising round the Leigh defenders.
Just makes it look so easy, doesn't it? That was a great kick. And he's gone across the field and got to the other side and made some decent meters as well.
2. Move! Back up, hold. Goal 2.
Abbas Miski, one thing they've achieved, they've kept him quiet after 17 tries in his last 7 games. Let's go down to the sideline. Jenna.
Yeah, Bill, I'm just getting confirmation that we have got the biggest ever crowd here for a Super League game here at the Leigh Sports Village. There is 10,308 fans here. It is a complete sellout. And I'm looking around and there is not a spare seat in the house.
And they're staying to the end as well. Because Wigan are almost home and dry, and that Leaders' Shield is almost in their possession. Smith's kick. Ian Proctor's notepad for the second half, completely blank. Nothing. Not for the want of trying, and not without controversy as well, especially if you're a Leigh Leopard supporter.
Well, that's going to be the talking point, isn't it, after this game?
The obstruction.
Yeah, whether you're a Leigh fan or a Wigan fan. If you're a Wigan fan, it wasn't a try. If you're a Leigh fan or a neutral.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
The pass bumbling across in front of the Leigh three-quarters. And that has been a flaw in their performance this evening, has it? Right from the word go, there were just a few errors creeping in.
Yeah, you're right. Missed tackles as well from Leigh, 25 to 10 from the Warriors.
They've missed John Asiata. Big style.
All the way back. Hold.
Mellor. Lachlan Lamb, first half try scorer, the try that gave Leigh some hope. That's the 5th tackle.
Release. Hold, play ball. Goal 5, shorten.
And here is Reynolds. Lamb, short ball. O'Donnell bursting onto it, straight into the hands of Miski. Miski's been quiet tonight. He might not be quiet now, but Edwin Epapi comes back to make the tackle.
Well, just did enough. Do you know that? They were looking at having a chance of running it on the last play. It doesn't come off. Abbas Miski gets hold of the ball, makes 30 metres up the other end of the field, and well, they've given it everything they've got, haven't they? Leigh. Well, he gets the offload away. Kai O'Donnell gets back in field.
And the Wigan supporters celebrating now. Here is Tyler Dupree. Swaps Salford for Wigan. Brad Singleton going the other way, and Tyler Dupree is going to find himself a league leaders medal winner.
Well, if you're Wigan now, you're going towards that sideline, and Harry Smith just knocks the ball off the field. They'll have another 2 players before they do that, though.
Here's Harry Smith. And Brad O'Neill, in the town of his birth, helping Wigan to a crucial victory. 5th tackle. Smith, French, trying to put the footwork on. And that'll be the turnover. And Matt Peet sits back, exhales, and knows that they are inching their way towards success.
Well, that's it, Bill. That's the game for me. Like, they've been ruthless. The energy that they've shown in this second half, when they've been down here, look at that. The aggression, taking Charlie back, putting his head towards his own try line.
Sensational defence throughout the game from the Wigan Warriors.
Outstanding all year. And like I said, the last 8 games, they've only conceded an average of 8 points. That shows how good they are in those stakes.
No lack of effort from this Leigh Leopard side, and they will point to one significant call that denied them a try in the second half, but it's happened. Deal with it. They will have to now. Matt Peet and Tommy Luluai celebrate. King and Dupree likewise. Wigan jubilant. Leigh on their haunches, on their backs. And it's the Wigan fans who are celebrating. They have weathered the storm here at the Leigh Sports Village in a bruising encounter, a that was not for the faint-hearted. At times it wasn't pretty.
Well, it doesn't need to be pretty sometimes, as long as you get the result. And Matty Peake, what a job he has done in the last couple of years of his hometown club. Defensively, he's shored them up. The attack in which they play, and they just show and entertain those fans week in, week out to do the job that they've done. The back end of the year, the last third of the season, I think they have been well and truly unsung.
And there'll be no consolation to the Leigh Leopards, and they'll be even more annoyed, to put it mildly, to come off the field and find that they have lost fourth place, which is what's going to be the likely scenario. Professor John Wells will be enlightening us on that. He's currently doing a pie chart, I think.